So the question is, you're looking at your psychographics, and you're clear what they are for you, the communities you're a part of, the identities you have, and that maybe that would be great to work with people like that, but you don't want to exclude people. You don't want to have people turned away. Yeah, okay. So there's a few thoughts here that are important. One, there's the difference between being explicit versus exclusive, which is an important distinction to make. If I have a Mac book. I make products for Macs. Let's say I make covers for Macs. I said, well, it's not for PCs. Sorry, if you have a PC, I just exclusively make stuff for Mac products. That's exclusive. Explicit would be, I work with hippies. But if you're not a hippie, you can still come. So you can be explicit and not be exclusive. That's the first thing. The second thing is, okay, so the goal is word of mouth, right? The goal is we build a business based on word of mouth. Aha. But where does word of mouth come from? Does word of mouth come from bribing people to talk about us? Of course not. Word of mouth comes from you do a really good job. You crush it, you do a great job, and then people talk about it. They say, wow, that was really useful. I really like what this person did. That's where it comes from. Okay, so if you're going to want to do a good job, it means you've got to bring your best. Yeah, you have to bring your A game when you're working with people. There are certain things that will bring out your best and certain things that won't. And if you notice there's something at the psychographic level where it's like, I don't even want to help these people. I don't know. You're working with a client and it's thank you so much for helping me with my health. I'm going to get back to supporting Donald Trump to become president again. Thank you. You're, oh God. I'm not even taking political sides. I'm just saying that's probably a popular choice in this room. Oh, I'm healthy. Oh, I'm going to get Boris Johnson back in office. Great. How is he so good with these accents? Yeah. But you see what I'm like. There's certain people where it's just okay. We're not on the same page psychographically, and it's just going to grind on you. That may not be the case. You may not care about those things so much, but you might. So I'm just saying if it makes a difference. And if working with people who are a part of a certain scene, a certain crowd would just fill your sails with wind and just, you'd be so excited to work with these people versus, oh no, this one again. Oh God, this client. There's certain time, if you're, I don't know, let's say you're a fundamentalist Christian and you go to a naturopath. They say, before we do our work, we like to make a blood offering to the goddess Hecate. If you can just give me your hand. Or vice versa. You're a pagan and you go to a naturopath, but they're fundamentalist Christian. It's like, before we begin, I like to just say a little prayer. If you can put your hand on the Bible. It burns. Oh God. I don't know. Sometimes it's just so jars the whole thing versus we're kindred. And they feel at home when they come in. There's a woman I know, Parneet, a friend of mine from Edmonton, and she, a young woman of color at the time, young, she's still a woman of color, she was young. Young woman of color, she'd moved to Montreal from Edmonton, and she was in the poly kind of queer kink scene, as I recall, and she was studying to be a therapist. And when she hung out her shingle to be a therapist, she was full almost overnight. Why? Because she was a part of the scene, both psychographic but also demographic. And can you imagine? It's like, oh, I can go to a therapist who gets my world. I don't have to explain this shit all the time. What do you mean institutionalized racism? What are these institutions? Oh God, are we here? And you have to explain yourself. So I would just say if it matters, it matters. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But it's good to know what it is for you. Which psychographics matter. Because what a delight where you know that every single person who comes to work with you, you kind of have this shared understanding about certain things, so you don't have to go over that. You don't have to be triggered by each other. Yeah. Does that help at all? Or